Welcome to another episode of The Velvet Hammer.
And here we go.
On Thursday, we finished a 3-week jury trial. 3 weeks because 2 of them were selecting the jury and arguing motions.
Okay, that's
a week and a day of the actual trial itself, testimony. And on Thursday, we did closing arguments.
We did.
Ended at 4:50 something. Court normally closes at 4 o'clock. The jury was excused to begin deliberations or figure out what it was going to do. And there's never trial on Friday, but court is in session on Friday, and the jury is always expected to deliberate on a Friday. They decided not to deliberate on the Friday because it's Memorial Day weekend. And so they left at 4:30 and decided that they would come back first thing Tuesday morning, which today is Tuesday morning.
And they start at 9:30 in the morning.
So the cool thing was that we didn't have to think about this. At least I didn't much have to think about it, because Friday normally we would have had to gone down and wait, and then you would worry that they were going to try to hustle to finish before the weekend. And now we know that they want to take their time, and they also like having a vacation. We know these 2 things about the jury. But today is today, and it's happening right now. Well, 9:30. We have 20 minutes before it starts getting deliberated. What does that feel like?
I mean, what does it feel like? It feels like, one, we don't have control. So, like, you're giving up control over something you've spent 2 years working on and preparing, and you've given it to 12 people to decide. Feels uneasy.
Let me amend that. It sucks. It feels horrible, and it's the worst part of the trial, in my opinion. That feeling.
Yeah.
You've done it, everything you can, and you're just now, you have no input whatsoever. And your client is sitting there worried it's going to affect their life. They have suffered not only the initial incident, but through the whole litigation.
Yeah.
They've come and told their story to strangers, the story that they didn't even tell really their own selves. They quote, as one testified, "I threw everything away into a figurative black garbage bag and tried to tuck it away as far as possible in my mind."
Well, now that you put it that way, it does suck.
It sucks so bad.
It does suck terribly bad.
Okay, that was number 1. We'll come back to that. But okay, issue number 1, we have no control and it sucks.
Yeah.
Issue number 2.
I feel good. Honestly, I thought we did exceptional work. We put on the best case possible under the circumstances. So I feel good about the effort we put in, the work product. So at the same time, I kind of have like conflicting feelings. Like, I spoke to somebody on Friday about this sucky feeling. And she said to me, "Well, what do you want out of it?" And I said, I wanted to make sure that the clients were able to sit and talk about what they experienced under their own terms as much as possible. And I want justice. And she responded with, "You have that one way or another, regardless of the verdict." I don't know if I totally agree with her, but I see what she's saying.
That's because you gave her false information.
What do you mean I gave her false information?
You want to win.
Well, no.
You want to win for your client. You would never have filed a lawsuit if you didn't think you were going to win. You would never have had that client take that amount of time out of their lives and give them hope that they could prevail. You would never have put and invested this much time and money from the law firm, resources, into a case if you didn't want to win. You want to win fiercely.
Yeah, I do want to win, but I think what she's saying is that...
She can say whatever she wants. You gave her false information.
I didn't give her false information.
Yeah, you said you wanted justice to occur and you wanted the client to be good.
To be good?
To be able to have their say.
Oh. Well, I mean, money justice. I mean, justice is money. So that's an acknowledgement of the justice, and there's an acknowledgement of them being heard. I think she just is not a lawyer who deals with what we deal with, and she's trying to provide perspective. No false information.
Okay, I think that you didn't sleep well last night.
I did sleep well. I actually slept really well.
And I think that you are too controlled for my liking. I'm all over the place. I hate this part more than anything. My whole insides, if I were to just let them do what they want to do, would turn to gibberish mush. I am a controlled person, so I am getting through everything. But this is the absolute worst period of time. And if it lasts long, I've had it last up to, Ducks was over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I've had very long deliberations, like weeks of deliberations. I've had that come back in 2 or 3 hours. And neither one of them feels good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I want us to get a positive verdict, but what I'm saying is that, like, trying to focus and place energy into something I can't control is, like, causes stress for no reason. Like, I can't control it. Like, why stress about it? I guess I understand you want to...
Are you stressed about it?
I mean, I told you, I've like one sense, I feel like we did a damn good job. Like, we put on a freaking good case. And then on the other side, we've given up control. I don't like that feeling. I don't like being out of control. So it's like I have to sort of reconcile that. But if I place too much of my focus on feeling out of control, like, that's not good for me.
Okay, that's an admission that I will agree with, because your comments when we left courthouse were nothing but, I'm really worried about the statute of limitations. They were all about, are we going to lose? Are we going to lose this case over the statute of limitations, which, by the way, expired 47 years ago. If it wasn't a child sexual assault case under the special exception for if they were aware of the defendant's negligence. You were very worried and very scared. So what has happened, I suppose, over the weekend is that you have put on a coping mechanism that involves this calm Zen state, which I don't really recognize in you. But that's okay, right? Like, the reality is, and this is for people that wonder about what trial lawyers feel like, and for actual trial lawyers, this is the worst part, bar none.
Well, I think you're leaving out that, on Friday I had to go do something, and then, like, it totally revamped my entire weekend. But yes, when I leave, I go, like, I think about, like, were we vulnerable? Like, I think about that. Like, when you leave a trial, you do this. I mean, I'm always like, could we have done more on this? Can we have done more on that? And you constantly are in that.
I don't do that.
I do that.
You know what?
You're special.
No,
I'm not.
No, here's why. Because I am an invulnerable rock who has no capacity for true emotion. I have no real empathy. and I sever. That's how I cope.
You compartmentalize.
I completely have to sever it away.
You are an AI robot.
I literally walk out of trial. I've been criticized for this before by other lawyers who say this is completely wrong, but it's the way I do it. I do not ruminate. I don't allow myself to. I don't see the benefit of it. It's already happened. Like, oh, if I had done this or if I had done this, I need to just know when I'm doing it that I did every single thing that I thought could be done. I, meaning the royal I, all of us, I should have said that we did every single thing that we could have done. We left no stone unturned. We did a fabulous job. And I'm always going to be good with that. That's one of the qualities of having this rock-like severed mind approach. I do not go back and replay it in my mind, which would only cause me more anxiety.
You're gaslighting me. Because I am
did
there.
Gaslight
yeah,
like
I am right. I'm there right now. I told you. I am sorry that I don't hit that apex of emotional excellence right after the trial.
It's not
and I go
excellence.
through a process that I went through, and I'm
emotionally invulnerable. You are emotionally vulnerable.
No, you're incorrigible.
I'm emotionally invulnerable and don't want to be. I need to get ready for the next things. So that's my way. And honestly, It's got the positives and the minus. The positives, it lets me be a good trial lawyer and do a lot of stuff The negatives is my interpersonal relationships, and people might get mad at me. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Mike, you've seen so many trials and the aftermath and people waiting for it. And we asked you earlier on, what did you experience when people were getting ready for trial? What do you feel, if anything, when people are waiting for a verdict?
Well, it's, for me, I don't have, no.
Well, hold on.
If I get involved in the case,
and remember, you had Withy, you had Slugić. Well, Slugić, no. Some of these people didn't try a lot of cases, but
no, but I tried a case with Coluccio. It settled
Keith
2 days into the
and Brad
trial,
and Reed,
yeah,
and
I never did anything that closely with
Waylon.
Reed.
But a lot of trial lawyers in this firm when you started, and now.
So back then, I didn't get to see them waiting as much. Like I did that trial with Kevin. That was very soon after I started working there, and it ended 2 or 3 days into it. And I remember it struck me as very interesting because he was in trial mode. There wasn't any of the waiting happening, but there was waiting on the other side because there was an insurance person that I saw every day sitting there watching the trial going on, and they were the ones that made the decision to settle 3 days in, or I believe they did. But then every attorney has different ways of dealing with it. Like you said, you're freaking out because you can't decide whether or not you made all the right decisions, Mo. You are like a classic, gambling addict who has made the choice and is totally fine because they're already riding the high of what's going to happen afterwards, which doesn't matter if it's win or loss. You've gotten to the end of it, and you're actually probably thinking about the next trial.
Great analogy, Mike. It is definitely warped, but what great analogies.
But the one thing that I was going to say that I thought was very interesting was, Mo, you said that that the money is justice. And to me, I wonder, isn't it, especially in a case that's really, happened a long time ago, isn't it more the truth coming out and the money as a consolation?
That's what my friend told me. and because I was struggling with where I was when I talked to her. I was like, I'm in this space. I'm like, and then was asked, like, what do you want? Like, and that's what I described. But the truth came out. But I think,
I don't think that's the case with every trial, but in some of them, I think.
This case.
I would not say consolation. What I would say that it is a belated acknowledgement and extremely important that they existed and that this was wrong.
Yeah.
It's a validation of we see you and what you went through, and that was not okay.
Yeah, but I still feel like the people actually seeing what happened, seeing the evidence, and being able to know that it was happening, whether or not because the choice that the jury makes in whether or not they award a judgment or not, they're not saying that it was right or wrong necessarily, I don't think. But I feel like people seeing the truth are the ones that are able to make that choice.
I mean, the reality is that unless there is a substantial jury verdict, no one else will see it.
Yeah.
Other than 10 people.
I know. It doesn't. I understand that part. But it's still like,
yeah.
I guess for me, you're putting the client through the trial, so it's really just for them,
Mm-hmm. I've never argued. I mean, I've done a couple of asbestos cases, but they always settled, midway.
Mm-hmm.
I have not, and they were not this old, which seems bizarre to me because those go way back in time. I have not argued a case like this where the damage occurred, the future damage occurred from when it happened. They're still alive, but, they're my age. They've lived with the consequences of this untreated, unaddressed for decades.
I think there's like something to say about going back in time and like almost ripping time fabric open and going back there and talking about things and trying to understand what happened and revealing it in a public setting, that's like incredibly powerful. I mean, part of this trial for me was like a religious experience. It was just an incredible feeling. You literally went into a time machine and went back in time. And I just think that there's like a value there independent of a money judgment that I can't really comprehend or measure, but I know I was living it, and I could see the clients living it, and I could see the courtroom living it. I don't know how you, like, I know a lot of people who've been damaged years ago and will never get that opportunity to sort of come in and do that. So, I don't know. I just think that was an incredible experience.
So meanwhile, we sit here, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick
That's
tock.
that's why I asked that, because now you're sitting here thinking about that, and
Yeah.
and like I said, think if in your case, Mo, maybe thinking about things that you would have wanted to change, or things that you didn't have the ability to change that you still wanted to, or something.
Yeah,
like
like me doing closing and him wanting to do it instead of me. We're going to talk about other parts of this trial. We're starting
Yeah.
at the backwards first. I think, how does this experience make you grow as a human being?
Me?
All of us.
All of us?
When you're waiting for a jury verdict for something like this, when a firm has basically put all of this together, I mean, this is what we've been working for, right? That's a purpose of our job. And being in a trial is kind of the ultimate thing that we do. I mean, it's great when we settle cases if they're settled appropriately, but being able to be in trial is the real privilege and the challenge and the scary factor because of the risk, like you said. How does it make us better as human beings to sit here, wait for a jury verdict at the end of this whole thing?
I think it teaches me at least a little bit about having faith in each other and the team and the work that we did, and trusting. I think that's like the learning experience for me.
What about you, Mike?
It's always weird for me because sometimes I don't see much about the trial until right before or right while it's happening, because I don't work on stuff until you need it at the last second.
Yeah.
But I always feel a little of the anxiety that Mo's talking about, because I've, in this firm, I've got the least amount of control in those situations.
Yeah.
I just get to work with the client and take them back and forth to things and help them, and then work with the evidence and helping you guys in preparing for the trial and setting things up and stuff like that. So, when it's at that time, I get to see stuff and I get to think about it, and I get to think, and I talk to you guys and I think, okay, God, we're going to win, or, I don't know. But I always kind of have anxiety because of that then, because, I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. So I don't think it makes me a better person at all. I hate this part. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to think about it. I just want to do my other stuff. And yeah, I am a gambling man.
Yeah.
That's the problem too. When you're gambling, it usually happens pretty fast. Now you guys have to wait.
No.
You had to wait 4 days, and you don't know how many more days they're going to talk about it. So it
The
could
funny
be.
thing is, I'm not a gambler at all. Like,
No, I know you aren't. That's the thing that I
but
thought was funny.
I'm ultimately.
But you are kind of. That's
I
the
have
thing.
always known. My partner before here was Pat LaPlay, and he was the horse racing commissioner. He owns multiple horses. He would take me to the track. He is a professional gambler.
Yeah.
He gets the stats, and he gambles all the time. And when it came to cases, he couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand the risk of it. I would drive him crazy, because I would just march in there and I just didn't care. So it's a weird thing that you notice, but yes, he and I used to talk about it all the time. How can this be that you're the person that is a professional gambler and you don't like the risk of your cases, and I don't gamble even a nickel in a slot machine? I think that is a total waste, but I will sit there and say, do not settle. That's my advice.
Yeah.
You got to make your own decision, but my recommendation is that you do not settle. Let's go to trial.
I think that that's one of the reasons our firm works so well, because we've got a mix of different attorneys that are willing to do the different things and work the best at doing their part.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to trudge along now and keep going.
And wait. And wait. And wait. Okay.
Wait.
Well, that's all for today.
Until next time.